Now I'm getting a couple of things ready. Here are my jars. I'm going to soak them in boiling water, or we'll soak them into the water until it gets to a boil, and hopefully the pineapple water will also be starting to simmer or boil. Well, I really don't want it to get to be boiling. I just want it to get to where it's starting to boil, and then I'm going to go ahead and put inside of my jars. So what I'm saying, let me just show you what I mean. Here are my jars right here. I am not planning on putting the water in it yet and putting it on a simmer until I can actually start seeing my liquids until I see my liquids start heating up and getting to where it's about to start to boil. Now here's my pineapple juice. I have it on high right now. I'm trying to heat it up. On the side of it, I have my water bath canner. Now in my water bath canner, I have a little bit of water in it, and I put vinegar in here. And the reason why I put vinegar in here is because I have hard water. So because I have hard water, if I don't put it in, then it's going to end up discoloring my canner, as well as it's going to make it so that my jars get cloudy and get calcium on it or whatnot. I'm not sure, but it makes my jars so they're harder to clean. They have white stuff on it. I believe it's calcium. So what I'm going to do now is fill this up with water. And then after I fill it with water, I'm going to then put my jars inside the water. And while it's starting to heat up, my jars they're already clean, but it's just basically to sterilize them more. So let me go ahead and get started on that. Having your jars in the water helps keep them sterilized as well. This right here, if the pineapple juice was the same temperature as this water is in here, then I would go ahead and start the process. You can see it's already starting to bubble a little bit. You can see little bubbles coming up. This will be perfectly fine. I don't need to get it to a boil. I just want to be able to get it where it's almost at a boil. This is perfect. So I'm actually going to cut it down just a little bit. And I'm still waiting on the pineapple juice to heat up. I see steam coming out, so this is a good sign. Soon, I'll give it maybe 5 more minutes, maybe 8 more minutes, and then we are going to go ahead and start the process. Now you don't have to have an actual water bath canner. Whenever you're doing water bathing, you can use any type of pot you can use. The only thing you have to make sure is that you cover the jars with at least 2 inches worth of water over the top of the jars. So I found out that this right here, this rack, it would not fit in my 931 pressure canner, so I had to go ahead and go back to Old Faithful and use this right here. So that's what's at the bottom of my canner. So I'm about to start the process because they're both steamy, so they're both around the same temperature. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start canning. So let me go ahead and get the jars out. Now I took out 3 jars. I'm going to do 3 jars at a time. You definitely could do 1 jar at a time, but I'm going to go ahead and do 3 so I can go a little faster. And I have something under it because sometimes you tend to spill and I don't want to spill. Now I'm going to put the liquid all the way up to 1 inch of the jar, to being 1 inch to being full. So I'll put a little bit more in. A little more in too. Yep, that's about 1 inch mark. It's for the first part of the ring. Right where I'm trying to show you, but I don't know if you can really see that well. You can be able to measure it out. There's different things to be able to show, but it's basically 1/4 of an inch before it's full. So let me go ahead and take this out. Let me fill this one up now. And whatever juice I have left over, I'm just going to go ahead, and I could do another batch, but I'm not. I'm just going to go ahead and put inside of my refrigerator and just be done with it. Put that there. See, I can actually take some more out of there. Look at that. I'm going to take a little bit out. Alright. And fill this one up. Now what I'm going to do is wipe the rims of the jars with vinegar. You can also use water, but I like to use vinegar. And then I'm going to put my lids on, and then I'm going to put my rings on. And when I say vinegar, I'm talking about the white distilled vinegar. So let me go ahead and wipe the rims of the jars. And I've already put some of the vinegar on this. And what I'm using is a napkin. You can use a little towel, or you can be able to use paper towel. You can just basically anything you'd like to use. So then that's done. And I'm going to go ahead and put the rims on. Well, this is a magnetic. It came with my canning equipment. And it's not that expensive. It's around $5, and I got it from Walmart. They have nicer ones, but for right now, this just does the job, so it's fine. And again, the jar's hot, so if it's too hot, you can grab something to hold the jars with, so you don't burn yourself. And you put it on finger tight. And I'm going to go put these right back in the canner, and then I'm going to grab 3 more jars. Make sure you get out the air bubbles. Alright. Now this is what it's looking like. It's starting to boil a little bit, but I want to get it to a rolling boil, and then as soon as I see it's really boiling, and I'll show you what that looks like, I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on, and that's when I'm going to start my timer of, and the times are, if you're below 1,000 feet, your altitude, you'll want to go ahead and process it at a rolling boil for 5 minutes. If you're under 6,000 feet, so if you're from 1,001 to 6,000 feet, you want to go ahead and process it for 10 minutes. And then if you're above 6,000 feet, then you want to go ahead and process it for 15 minutes. So I'm below 6,000, so I'm going to process it for the full 10 minutes. So before we do that, I'm going to wait for it's boiling, and then I'm going to go and put the lid on and start the clock. Now this is a rolling boil. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set my timer for 10 minutes. And if you see little bitty bubbles, that's not what you want. You want a good boil. Okay? It's been 10 minutes. I've cut the oven all the way to off. And now what I'm going to do is just wait 5 minutes. You see it's flowing on the bubble already. Wait 5 minutes. I'm going to let it sit in there, and then I'm going to take it out and I'm going to let it sit on the table for at least 8 to 12 hours. And don't touch it, just leave it alone. And what we're waiting for is for it to seal. But even after you hear it seal, leave it alone. Wait the 8 to 12 hours. Alright? Make sure when you take them out that you put them on top of cloth, because otherwise you don't want to change temperature quickly, because again, all the hard work you have done will be wasted because they'll end up bursting. So make sure you put them on cloth. I'm about to transfer them over to my table.